we just wanted to congratulate you from the Rise Inside team and the Events of team as well. You won the Rise Inside Inspiring Award. So first of all, please let us know briefly something about you, about your journey as an author, as a poetess.
So, this is Amarna. I am a poet. I have written about four books until now, and the fifth is about to be published. I am currently in my 12th standard studying at RVPU College, Bangalore.
Okay, and so what age did you realize your love for poetry, and what inspired you to start writing?
When I was 11 years old in sixth grade, the COVID pandemic started. So, I felt my days were very monotonous, and I discovered my fondness for reading and writing. So, that is where I began writing poems.
Okay, so you told that there are four books. So can you just explain about the journey of four book, from publishing to the first book, and then what is your experience in publishing first book?
So my first book was Echoes of Soulful Poems. And then I was fortunate to have my mom handle all the publishing of the books and all the work behind the scenes so that I could focus solely on my writing. So starting out, first book was a bit difficult so that I could get used to the new experience of writing and familiarize myself with the new themes of how to express myself in a way so that I can convey what I want to.
Okay. So also, do you remember the first poem you wrote, and what was it about?
The first poem I wrote was about the COVID pandemic and how it affected each one of us. And it also spoke on the destructive effect of Mother Nature when we try to do something that we shouldn't.
Okay, and so after that, once you publish your first book, okay, then there are also a problem in marketing. Many of the author facing, they just publish a book, but they cannot able to sell the book properly. So, are you also trying to do some marketing, initial marketing from your side to sell the book, and how you process on that?
Uh, I usually don't worry much about marketing because as I'm starting out early now, so it's more about giving my best and to focus on doing what I know the best. And so I do my marketing in the form of social media. Other than that, no sort of marketing is done.
Okay, so that's a great actually. So if the four books in your hand, can you show to our readers if you have?
I currently don't have copy of all the four books right now.
Okay, so when where we can able to find this book, where it is available in Amazon?
Yes, these books are available on online shopping sites like Amazon.
Hmm. So if someone wanted to buy, they can easily go to the Amazon, search your name, and they can
Yes,
able to buy the book.
yes.
Okay, so after reading the book, some of the readers also have queries they wanted directly connect with author. Okay, so is there any way to connect with you directly if they have the readers have some questions about the book, about the content?
Yes, my social media pages on Instagram, Twitter are mentioned behind the cover of my books. And
Okay.
also, even my email ID is available so that the readers can connect with me.
Okay, that's a great. So we just also wanted to discuss something about your achievements and award. We know that you hold a multiple world records and a prestigious award for your poetry. So how does
Yes.
it feel to be recognized at such a young age?
It feels great to be recognized at such a young age, but also I feel humbled to see how far I have to go yet. And also, it makes me strive harder every day to be a better version of myself so that I can be worthy of this praise.
Okay, that's a great. So which of your achievements are the most proud of, and why you feel like that?
The achievement I'm most proud of is my first award, which was a great milestone while I was starting out. That was the India Book of Records. The first are always special, so when I hadn't hoped for any recognition, I received the Indian Book of Records. So that was very special to me.
Okay. And what is the expressions like how your parents feel after that they know that you are first record holder?
I'm the first record holder for writing the poems at a very young age. So my peers are very happy with that and proud of it.
Okay, that's great. So then, how also there are some queries in a young age, like you have written a four books and also working on a fifth book. But as in young age, you also need to study. Okay, go to the school and you have other activities as well. Okay, so how do you balance your academics and writing career?
Predominantly, I focus diligently on my academics, and during the weekends or vacations, I tend to write my thoughts.
Okay. And so, where do you get inspiration for your poems?
So, inspiration as such is from my own daily life, from my own experiences, and how I perceive a few circumstances. And the others are inspired from the works of authors I read.
Hmm. So also like in your all four books, there are a particular category are there like you already writing emotions, love, or there are more categories you have written in your books.
Yes, there are few categories like realization, nature, companionship, and also about solitude that I tend to focus on. Other than that, it's pretty general and what's relevant to me at that point of time.
Okay, and so we just wanted to discuss something about your first book because first book is a very special book as an author. Okay, so how many days you take to write your first book, and from what age you have written that book?
So, this book, Echoes of Soulful Poems, was my first book,
Okay.
and it took me about a year and a half to write it and then to get it published. So, it started when I was in sixth grade and I was 11 years old.
Okay. So how many pages are there in the book?
The book is about 150 pages in total.
Okay. So we can say that it's just a binge read book for the readers.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Okay. So also, do you have a writing routine or do you write whatever inspire strikes?
I tend to write on the weekends usually, but other than that, I write whenever inspiration strikes. I try to focus more on being more creative and not restrain myself to particular time constraints.
Okay, so so there are no particular schedules in a day to write your book. You just doing randomly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, and then also in this podcast, if you wanted to share something poem or a line which is relevant to you and most special, particularly specially to you, so and also tell something story behind that.
Yeah. So there's this poem called The Fallacy, which I wrote very recently. I wrote it when I was in a very overwhelmed phase. So this poem is something which is close to my heart because it's something that I would tell myself. So I could read a few lines of this poem. The poem is The Fallacy. With every glance, we weave a strand in the cobweb of myth. With every desire, we deepen this miles long pit. With every word follows an abyss of the truth and the knot. With every deed, the recoil of ancient vice is sought. So, this poem conveys the lies we tell ourselves and the preconceived notions that prevent us from seeing things like they are, and it also speaks of restraining ourselves to our circumstances and to fight beyond them.
Okay, and then we just also wanted to discuss something about the publication as well. Like, I think your mother take care of it, but I think you also aware something about that. Like,
Yes.
so during the publishing, so your publisher choose the designing of cover, or it's totally responsibility to you to write a design a cover, then they will publish it.
The cover I'm a bit particular because it's what attracts the eye of the readers. So it should be a bit attractive and it should be very fascinating. So the cover in particular is solely based on our choices and our preferences.
Okay, so then you own the. We just wanted to discuss something about your fifth book as well. Okay, so like you already published four books. Okay, and it's already available in Amazon and Flipkart. Then
Yes.
can you just something tell about your next book as well? What is the title of the fifth book, and when the readers can expect to be released?
The fifth book is on a random collection of poems. There are two different kinds of poems, blackout poems and the normal kind of poems. And it's titled The Mystical Waves. It will be out by the second half of the year. And this book was in use since a year and a half. And this book is very experimental in the sense that it conveys a genre which not that explored. The Blackout poems was a genre that I portrayed into recently, and along with this, it is a nice amalgam of the poems that I usually write. So it's a very nice read.
Okay, so what is the title you told?
The Mystical Waves.
Okay, so this is the title of for fifth book.
Yes.
Okay, and so uh, after that publishing a fifth book, there are more plans to publish.
Yes.
Okay, and so also and sometimes many of the authors feels like that to write they are write like you are writing a poetries. Okay, but instead of poetries, can we expect or readers can expect that you are also shifting to the novel or something story like a format in future?
Yes, actually, my third book, which is titled Galore of Mysteries, focuses more on the narrative aspect of writing, which is not primarily verse like or poetic in the sense. It's very narrative of the characters. There's a nice development of the characters. There's a very intriguing storyline behind it. So I've already managed to try my hand in narrative writing, and I plan to branch out further in the near future with
Okay.
other works.
Okay, can you show the book once again so that reader?
Yes, this is the book
Okay,
titled The Galore of
and how many
Mysteries.
pages are there in this book?
This book is about 115 pages.
Okay, so can you just briefly give a summary about the book, like why the readers need to buy the book and read the book once in their life?
Yes, this book is a mixture of horror and comedy actually. And there are a set of five friends with the protagonist in the lead, and they undergo extraordinary circumstances in their ordinary life. There's the mix of imagination as well as very hilarious stories, and hence I find it is as a very light-hearted read that everyone can have in their bookshelves.
Okay, that's a great. So after that third book, there are also fourth book. Am I right now? So
Yes,
if you have your fourth book as well, can you show to us?
yes, this is the book called Lafzon Ki Mehfil in Hindi.
Okay, so you also write Hindi.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great. So and this is also what is about your fourth book?
This book is just a collection of poems I've written in Hindi. So it's based on daily life circumstances and the depth emotions that we feel as individuals, and how distinct we each are from what actually is in life.
Okay, so which publisher published this book, ma'am? If you share name with the publisher.
This book was published by Evans Hub Publishing.
Okay, and so what is the experience with Heaven Swap Publishing? How
It was great an experience with Evans Hub Publishing as well, and they are very cooperating too.
Mm, okay, and after that, there are also like in your publishing your first book, that the title of the book is Echoes of Soulful Poems. Okay, on
Yes,
that
yes.
during the publication of first book, did you face any problem of publishing?
Yes, we found it a bit difficult with the publishing, with the being the cooperation. But then, since we were even naive in our first book, and then we got a hang of it.
Okay. Uh, so that's actually a great journey. As at this young age, you have written a fourth book and also working on the fifth book. That's why the Rise Inside chosen you as a winner of inspiring woman award. And I think that this will inspire many person as well as the young student to pursue writing as well in their journey. Yeah. And also there are some more questions about the new era where the Instagram and other social media are very popular, okay, and most of the people are just using Instagram for all day, okay. So for this young generation, can you give us some suggestions like how they can manage their social media as well, but they also need to manage their studies and writing as well. So what was the suggestion for those people from your side?
I am quite young to advise someone, but what I feel is when we have a goal or when we are particular about something which we have to achieve, then managing times becomes the first step. So then, with social media, one has to be very careful. There's data breach, and also time sense is lost while using social media. So we should make a daily routine where we focus on academics and our passion, and also leave some time out for our social media and the screen time.
Okay, okay. So then we just wanted to discuss something about your future plans as well. So are there any poets or authors who have influenced you to writing style?
I'm, of course, inspired by writers and authors who have, in fact, stimulated me in the journey of writing. But as a matter of fact, I haven't imbibed their writing styles in my own style of writing, because to thrive in this literary world, one has to carve a niche for himself, and it can be only be possible if one is original in his creation. So, though I am greatly motivated by the works of other writers, I am not influenced by their styles.
Okay. So any like you are an author, okay, but I think you are also a reader. So any books if you wanted to share, like which you have recently read and you like as of now to reading?
Currently, I haven't found time to read any books, but I like the works of authors like Amanda Golden and Ocean Wong. In their poems, they convey a lot. So I think their works are pretty great.
Okay. And so also what are the future plans? Do you plan to explore other genres of beyond the poetry, or you just wanted to stay on poetry as of now?
Future plans in particular, I don't have anything. I plan to go as life leads me. But I do hope to explore other genres in writing and not stick on to poetry.
Okay. So if you could give a advice to the young inspiring writers, so what would it be?
It would be not to chase the recognition or the adulation they get as a result of their dreams, but to chase their dreams instead. Because in a field like writing, the consequence of chasing fame is that it's not instantaneous, and it can be disheartening for many. So it is to never give up and continue working hard, irrespective of what you receive.
Hmm. Okay. So that's a great conversation. We just have a little more questions. Like, so if you in future, if you wanted to collaborate with some writers or a poet, so any poet in your mind where you wanted to collaborate with them, or who would it be and why?
There are quite a few poets I would like to collaborate with, but the one that comes quite particular in my mind is Gulzar Sir. I am deeply touched by his works, and if someday life unfolds in a way that I get a chance to collaborate with him, it would be amazing.
Okay. Okay. So instead of writing, there are more hobbies you have like if you are not writing poetries, okay, so for to doing a fun or personal activities, so which kind of activities do you like to do?
Other than writing, I usually diligently focus on my academics, but then I
Mhm.
also like listening to music and, of course, reading books and
Okay.
novels.
Okay, so that's all the questions in from my side. So any specific point if you wanted to share with our readers or viewers who watching this podcast, and also just briefly explain about your all the books, why they need to buy the book and where they can find to buy the book.
My books are available on online sites, and my readers can have a look out for my fifth book, which is on its way. And in the meantime, can be occupied with my four other books, which are quite a great read. And that's it I have to say.
Okay, that's a great conversation. So I'm just stop the